Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Bandai Star Wars movie realization, Ronin Mandalorian. For all the amazing figures coming out of Japan, click the link in the description below to head on over to Big Bad Toy Store. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, this figure was released in the US through Premium Bandai, I think it was called, for $100 US. But unfortunately, they did not ship worldwide. They only shipped to continental US, which is pretty stupid in 2021, if you ask me. So I got this through Big Bad Toy Store, where they originally did have the price of 149 US, but then they upped it to 169, which is a shame. But luckily I pre-ordered, and it took about 4 weeks to get here, but I'm glad it finally arrived. And as a variant of the previous Jango and Boba figures, it is a pretty nice addition to the collection. Just quickly going through the box art, you see that it's got the traditional and the usual cover art there for the figure, Ronin Mandalorian, and the sort of various figure poses and so on, and weapons, etc. that you see at the back there. I haven't kept any of these boxes in the past, so this will end up in the recycling, because I do like to display my figures, and I am running out of space for all of these boxes that I've got, or so my wife tells me. But I'll get the figure out the way and just quickly go through the accessories. The first accessory that I think most people are looking forward to is the long rifle that he uses in the TV show. And they do have a pretty good representation of it in this samurai sort of feudal style. It's got a little flintlock thing that only moves just a couple of millimeters, which I think is a little bit pointless, but it does move, and it does function like that. I don't think there are any other moving parts that I can see anyway, but the overall style is pretty good in keeping with the show. I do like the wood finish on the back here, and the sort of silver wash and black wash does give it that nice metallic look as well. So pretty nicely done there. Just before I move on from that, it does have this little peg on the side here, which does fit into a hole in his back, but I did have to make a mod for the cape, which I'll get to shortly. Also comes with his little pistol, which is pretty good. Again, it's got that little flintlock mechanism that moves a little bit more, but nothing too much to write home about. And again, it's a unique style. I don't think they've used this mold before, and it does look pretty nice. The weapons, same old thing from the previous figures, where it comes with the short katana. The instructions actually call it a katana. I think I've had a few posts on comments on previous videos where I think this is called I can't even remember the term anymore, wakizashi or something like that, or a shorter version of the sword. But either way, the instructions call it a katana, so a katana it is for me. The handle, nice green color there, and that's the hilt that goes into his belt. The hands, as with all the other figures, it comes with a huge amount of hands. I think there are 8 swap out hands here, and 2 on the figure itself. So you get the, by default, you get the closed fists, then you get the sword holding hands, like so. The paint application is pretty nice, nice dirty look to it, and you get the little blue highlights and different shading on to just bring out that sculpt. You got the weapon holding hands, like so, and a few other sort of grippy hands, and a wide sort of gun hilt, or whatever that front part of the gun is called, that he holds there. So overall a nice array of hands for you to do all your poses that you would like. But I guess the main feature, of course, is the figure itself. So I'll just give you guys a closer look at that. Hold on. Right, so here he is up close. There are quite a few reuse of parts, as you would expect for a mainly repaint figure, but there are a few variants to the previous 3 Jango and 2 Boba figures, which I'll bring out those 3 in a second. As I was saying before, the only mod that I had to do, as you can see at the back here, there is a hole where the jetpack normally goes for the bobber figures, but this time it's used for the rifle. And in the box art, it actually says to, I think he normally has it like this, has to put it in like this, and then you fold that over the top, which I think looks pretty stupid, which I think is an error on their part. They should have made a hole or a slit in the cape itself, which I did manually using a sharp pin. So with that hole there, I sort of lined it up, and then I can sort of get it in there if I can line it up again, which I can't on camera, which is a shame. But I did it just the other day. I might have to feed that through the hole itself first and then plug it in, but I'll do that later when I show the comparison with the others. But I guess you can have a look at some of the molding and paint detail in the back there. Nice sort of blemishes in the armor. I'm not sure if the others have that. I'm just looking at the white bobber here and I can't see any, so I think that might be unique to this mold. This sort of skirt piece is, this floating waist piece is a bit of a reuse, I think. These shoulder armor pieces are pretty similar to previous figures. The helmet, of course, is unique. There is no viewfinder for some reason. I thought he did have one in the TV series, so I'm not sure why they did not include that fold-down viewfinder, which is a shame. The gauntlets, I think, may be unique to this mold. I'll confirm that again in a second. Articulation-wise, you get all the usual articulation bits for figures in this series, so I won't bother going through all that again. You can click through and check all the other videos of all the other figures in this series. I've got, I think I've got all of them. So you can check out all those other videos for all the articulation of those. But that's pretty much it. The cape itself is soft goods, so I think it's the first time they've used soft goods in this series. I don't think it was that great a decision, to be honest. The outside is this sort of matte finish. The inside is this more polyester type material. But I guess it does have a nice tattered look at the back there. There's no real weathering or anything. But it doesn't fold that or fall that naturally. So I did do a bit of a water treatment just to give it a bit more weight. But we'll see how we go with that. And it does look better with the weapon on the back there, holding it down as well like that. So that's pretty much it from this close-up sort of look. I guess the only other unique thing that I just noticed is I guess the bandolier here. So that's a new floating piece. But other than that, it's pretty much what you would expect for a Mandalorian repaint. So I'll grab the other three and give you guys a side-by-side look at all of those. Hold on. Just before I show the others, just quickly show you how I put the hole through and attached it to the back there. So just make the hole through the center of the cape, lined up with the hole in the armor, and then you can fit it on and rotate it however you feel. And it looks pretty good as per the show itself. So definitely I think that's a mod that most collectors should think about doing. Alright, so here you see him with the first three releases in this sort of style, with the prototype bobber on the left, Jango Fett there, and Boba Fett on the right. So I still think the Boba Fett figure is probably my favorite. It's the most colorful, probably the one with the most accessories as well. I think I do love all the weapons and so on his shin guards there. I think you do get a few with the prototype, but just overall I think the Boba sort of gives me that most nostalgic feel in this style for the movie character as well. It does have the cape there, which is a molded plastic cape, not soft goods. But I guess with the soft goods of the Mandalorian here, once you've got the hilt on, you can sort of tuck the cape behind the hilt, and once you've got the weapon and the rifle on the back there, it all sort of folds down fairly nicely. The pistol here fits into the holster without any issues. I was a bit worried that it was going to be a very tight fit that might split the plastic, but it fits in pretty well. And as you can see, some of the reused parts, I think that might be These bits around the shins here might be new, but the underlying armor and the shoes and so on are reuse. These Karma skirt things at the front here are different as well. These other ones have these beads or whatever you want to call them at the front, which these guys, the Mandalorian here doesn't have. But I think he uses this from Django, and the armor pieces I think are pretty much that chest piece might actually be unique. So the center piece there looks a bit different to the other three, and I guess the battle damage as well is different, and I guess the paint application on the shoulder pauldrons are different as well. But overall, you can definitely see they're from the same family of figures as the Mandalorian, and the back of him there, as you can see as he's walking along, just like the TV show. So I might try and get him into some walking poses. I guess the Mandalorian figures themselves are pretty much used for some of those awesome walking poses, and I guess he did a lot of that in the TV show. So we'll see how I go with that posing for this one. I might take a few more photos and post them up on the Cool Collectibles Facebook page, so hopefully you can head over there over the next few days and check those out as well. But that's pretty much it for my thoughts on this Mandalorian figure. I think if you were lucky enough in the US to get it for 100 US, you're pretty lucky, and it was a decent buy. And for those of us that had to get it for about 150 or more, I guess the prices have skyrocketed on eBay, so hopefully you were all able to get your hands on it if you are collecting this series. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you can give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a few more things coming up over the next few months, and hopefully some new 1/6 scale endgame figures from Hot Toys, because they have been a long time coming. But until then, thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.